Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Martine, and today we are going to be talking about my favorite sketchbooks. So I have a few sketchbooks stacked up here. These are my favorites for different reasons. So let's start with the one on top. This is a Royal Talons Art Creation sketchbook, and this is the A5 size. And I believe I'm pretty sure I've done a sketchbook tour for this somewhere on my channel. But I like this Royal Talons for the size. The size is really good, this A5 size, because you can use it in studio and you can take it, throw it in your bag, and it's not too big, it's not too small, and you can take it with you wherever you go. You throw it in your purse, your handbag, and sketch. The thing That's the reason why I'm putting it on my favorites list, is because of the size. So it's not because of the paper, because since I am an artist who works a lot with water soluble materials, this doesn't tend to work really well with watercolor and or watercolor pencils when I activate them, like the paper pills. You can add just a tiny bit of water, and I don't mind buckling, but when you add too much water to these books, the paper pills. It like how can I describe that? Like, you can see like the paper bits of balls of the paper is comes up. So that's why this Royal Talons A5 is a favorite of mine, only for the size. Okay, so here we have a Canson Graduate, which is the same size. Well, actually the Talons is just like a wee bit smaller. Let me zoom out just a bit for you. Oh, I can't zoom out anymore. Okay. So the Art Creations is just a little bit smaller, but I still consider this an A5 size because it's not that much bigger, and it's like the same size for me, and you can still throw this in your bag, use it in your studio, and or throw it in your bag. It's the perfect size. So this is watercolor paper. Now, the reason why this is one of my favorites, and I recently got this, is because, let me pull out the thing so you can see. This is Canson watercolor paper. It is 250 GSM, 117 pound paper, and it is really one of my favorites. It does lay flat, well, as flat as possible. Don't mind this, I was just don't mind. Yeah, so the paper is really sturdy, like it's smooth. It has a spread. One spread is smooth, where it's like hot pressed, and then the next spread is cold press. So it like alternates between smooth and cold press and textured. And I think that is so great. Like, you get the best of both worlds in one book, and it's the perfect size, and it's watercolor paper, which I like because I like to use watercolor materials, like water soluble materials all the time. So, you know, this is probably my most favorite right now to date. I do have one that I know that, well, I haven't purchased it because it's just way too expensive for me. But eventually I will, once I'm done with using all of my sketchbooks, I think I will like invest in an etcher sketchbook. But right now it's just too much money for me. And plus I don't need it because I have so many empty ones. But I think I definitely would love that etcher hot press, 100% cotton. Oh my God. Anyway, just talking about it makes my mouth water. Anyway, so right now this is a favorite. So here we have like a top favorite, this Canson graduate one. All right, so here we have another sketchbook that I really love as well. And it's a cheapie. It's a cheapo one. It's from Five Below. The paper, it's a watercolor sketchbook. The thing is, the papers, they kind of popped out like as I was turning the page. I mean, it was $5, but it's smooth. It's like hot press. It's so smooth, and it really keeps your materials. Like this was gouache and pencil, and it keeps it, like, it really maintains. And I like that. I like that. I love a smooth, sturdy surface. So, but the only thing about this is that the pages, some of the pages popped out when I was turning. It stays relatively flat. Oh, let me go back to the Canson one because that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to show too. Like the Canson one, it says that on the paper, it says that it stays 180 flat, but I mean it does in terms of the book covers. You're always going to have to pin down your pages no matter what, but it does also stay relatively flat as well. I just wanted to make note of that. You know, it stays flat. Even when you turn, still stays flat. And that goes the same for this one that I got at Five Below. It stays flat, as well as having super smooth paper, which I love. And the size is pretty good too. This is a good size to throw in your bag as well, and it not be too heavy, and things like that. And it takes water soluble materials really well. And this is a gouache painting page here. I painted with gouache on that. Watercolor. Here's the watercolor spread I did. Maintained it very well. It didn't buckle or anything. All right, my only thing is that the first couple of pages, you know, kind of popped out when I first got the book. So there's some pages sticking out that kind of came out on their own. But other than that, this is a really good book. And it's one of my favorites. I actually have two more blank ones that I could use because I bought like 2 or 3 at a time. Because I know, actually I went back. After I bought this one, I went back and bought 2 more. So this acrylic paint is on here as well. Like this right here is acrylic paint. And at the last page, it kind of goes accordion style, concertina style at the last page of this book. That's what happens, and I think that's pretty cool as well. So this is definitely one of my faves. It has a cute little back pocket here as well, just like the Canson. yeah, so definitely up here with the Canson for me. Now here is another Canson watercolor sketchbook. It's a Canson XL cold press heavyweight paper. It's 7 by 10 and 140 pound, 300 GSM. Now the reason why I'm calling this one of my favorites is because of the smoothness of the paper, the size and the smoothness of the paper. This is relatively smooth. I do like textured watercolor paper, but just for certain things. I like the textured watercolor paper when I'm doing something abstract with watercolor, you know. I don't like using my watercolor pencils and or my Neocolor 2s on textured papers. I don't know, I feel like the crayon and the pencil, they kind of get stuck in the texture, and I don't like that look. Like when I activate it, like it doesn't all come up. And it couldn't, like some people like that look, and I like that look on smoother paper, you know? But anyway, this is smooth for cold press paper. This is, they're calling it cold press, but it's kind of smooth to me. So I like it for the smoothness of the cold press paper and the size, the 7 by 10, because it's not a far cry from this. Well, I like the size. I really like the size because I feel like it's compact enough that you can take it with you places. You know, Canson, I just had discovered this Canson graduate with this kind of book bound like this. The spiral kind of turns me off, but I really love their paper. Like they really use quality paper in their sketchbooks, but the spiral thing just and I guess it's good because it's perforated, you know. But yeah, I really like this for the size, the 7 by 10, and for the nice smooth paper on here. And you can see this, what's in this sketchbook, in another video that I posted. I will link that video in the description box, okay, where I had, I think it's called Chatty Sketchbook Tour recently. So I'll link that in the description for you guys, or put it in the cards somewhere. Okay, so why this is one of my favorites, this Pith sketchbook, and it's the Oro Blanco. Yeah, it's the Oro Blanco. I like the paper, and also like the Royal Talons. This is not great for water soluble. Like, you can get it wet, but it has to be a light wash. Not good for watercolors. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's good for dry materials, and it's good for like gouache and light washes of things. Like for instance, with this was all colored pencil, and then I took one of my brush pens and activated the pencil. But you really shouldn't put too much water on this, because it's going to kind of pill. Paper is going to buckle with water regardless. You're going to get that in most sketchbooks. But what annoys me the most about some sketchbooks is when the paper starts coming up in like little balls. Oh my God. I'm sorry about that. When the paper starts coming up in like little balls, like while you're painting, that is so annoying. So, but I like the paper for dry, you know, and for acrylic painting. Like I have a couple of, this background is acrylic. This was Neocolor 2, pencil sketching, beautiful, acrylic, oil pencil. Yeah, here's my acrylic. This was acrylic ink, and acrylic paint. Like it holds down the acrylic, but when it comes to really, a lot of water, like this is, oh yeah, this was a jelly plate thing I did with acrylic paint. And soft pastel, that was fine. This is gouache and pencils, fine. But in terms of like putting a lot of water, it's not a good idea. And then it lays nice and flat, okay, because it has this exposed spine right here. So it's going to lay flat, which is good. Boom. And with this one, honestly, I don't even have to use my clips. Like when I'm at home and when I'm here working, with this book, I don't need to use my clips because that's how good it lays flat. And but I would definitely get this again. I would get this. Because I like the quality of the paper is good. I don't understand why, the pilling occurs. I really don't. I could see why with the Royal Talons, because it is a little cheaper. Well, a lot more cheaper than this. For me, this is not a good water soluble thing, sketchbook. It's better with thicker paints, it's better with dry materials, and it lays nicely. This size is, the size is okay. If I get another pith, I'll probably go smaller. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like on this thing now of smaller sketchbooks. Like I was in my big sketchbook phase last summer, and now I want to like have a more smaller handheld type of deal. I don't know. But listen, am I pushing Canson products? Like another Canson thing here. But I do like this paper. The mixed media paper is medium grain, 9 by 12, 160 GSM, 98 pound. So when I saw 98 pound, I was like, that sounds a little thin, but it's really the GSM working with the pound paper. Like it's a good thickness. The last time I had this big one, I had the mixed media rough, which was really good. That one, the mixed media rough, really good. Anyway, so I like this strictly for the paper. Strictly for the paper, the quality of the paper, and I like this to use as as like a sketchbook where I do stuff like this, like sketch out ideas and do drawing sessions like on Zoom with other artists. At the beginning of this book, I used it a lot for drawing sessions. Like these were from drawing sessions. This was like, I think maybe like a 1 minute sketch of a landscape. Here's like, 2 minutes. This one was 5 minutes. So I like this book for drawing sessions because you can quickly turn the pages and it's big, and you can, put like 3 or 4, you know, if you size them correctly, you can put like 3 or 4 drawings on one page. You can flip the page quickly. You know, I think, you know, it's good for drawing sessions in my opinion. And the paper is good. It holds down everything, like everything, okay, from dry to wet, acrylic, all of the things. It does it. I even have some collage pieces in here as well. This is watercolor. This is watercolor. All, you know, always, everything I use is almost water soluble. You know, like I said, pencil sketches I do on here. This is some sort of water soluble thing. I don't know. This was gouache sticks, and I think this was a marker, Ecoline marker. Yeah, so this is, and this is something that is inexpensive as well. I definitely buy this. I buy this for my kids to use too. They have their own. This is it's just good, really. Canson is just really good quality sketchbooks. They use good quality paper. So this is definitely a favorite and a rebuy, you know, when I need to, when I use this up, I'm definitely buying another. So the last sketchbook that I wanted to feature here today is my big A3 sketchbook that I was obsessed with getting. I was obsessed with getting an A3, and I got it. I was stalking this book for a long time on Amazon. It's a Moleskine. It's the watercolor sketchbook, and I really love the size. And why it's one of my favorites is because of the size and the paper. The paper quality is really good. You can paint on it. You can sit this on your easel and paint directly into this book. It lays flat. It lays nice and flat. You can do big gestures. It's just like having a traveling canvas for me. And so when I get in my painty bag, I like to have this. I put it like this, for instance, this I did in the park earlier this summer. This I did a couple of weeks ago on my easel, as a matter of fact. And this is watercolor, pencil, yes, watercolor and pencils. So it just allows me, like when I want to like I said, get in my painty bag, you know, I can pop this on my easel and do what I want. This was just a swatch page, which I'll probably be showing in an upcoming video again. I haven't really used it a lot, only with 3 things so far. But this is definitely one of my favorites because of the size and the quality of the paper. The size just allows me to make big gestures, and I can put this up on my easel, clip it to the easel and paint inside of it, and yeah, keep it going and not have to have something, not to have a canvas, because I don't have a lot of canvases, because you know those things take up room. So I think painting in your sketchbook is an alternative to that. So that's it. So we have the Moleskine A3 as one of my faves. We have this Canson. Just to recap, we have this Canson one. We have the Pith. We have the Five Below one. We have the Art Creations, which is a fave, not fave. we have this Canson Graduate watercolor, and then we have this Canson XL watercolor book here. So these are basically my favorite sketchbooks, and by far I have to say what is my fave out of this is this one, because it is sized nicely, it is sized to go, it is sized for stay, it is sized to go, and it has good quality paper. It alternates hot press and cold press in here. And yeah, I just love this book. I love this particular book. And I'm definitely repurchasing that once I'm done with this one. Okay, so that will be all, guys, for my favorite sketchbooks. I hope this helped you. So when you're going into the store and you're trying to find a sketchbook that, you know, to use, and you're thinking about how you work as an artist, what you paint or what you draw, these are the things that you need to think about, like size. Can you travel with it? Will it hold your materials? You know, how will the sketchbook receive your art supplies, your materials? How will they interact together? So these are the things that you should think about. The art creations, the Canson, you know, these are very, very affordable. Okay, I bought this. Actually, I live in the U.S. I don't know if you're watching from another country, but I bought this in Staples for $10. Yes, this was in Staples for $10, and I think on Amazon it goes for about, because Staples usually sells art supplies a little cheaper, guys. Don't sleep on Staples. When you find a Staples that has an art supply section, they don't, all of them don't. But when you do, they usually sell things a little bit cheaper. So this was 10 bucks in my local Staples. So if you're in the US or whatever, and also Five Below in this watercolor sketchbook, find it because it's really good as well. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Let me know what your thoughts. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. I am happy to answer any questions that you may have. Also, check the description box for links to my website and my Substack newsletters. Subscribe to my Substack newsletter. And if you become a paid member to Sketchbook Shenanigans on Substack, you get a monthly print, a monthly art print delivered to your home. Okay? So that is all for today, guys. I want to thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care.